Alex Trimmer over here at Movements for Life. So for the past few months, we've been focusing on going through the entire body and doing a bunch of soft tissue or foam rolling exercises to help make the tissues more pliable. So we literally went from feet to head, because we did start at the foot and ankle and calf. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go full circle and we're gonna go back to the foot and ankle and calf and start doing some local mobility work. So as a sequence, we first wanna start with making the tissues more pliable. So that's where we use either foam rollers or lacrosse balls or the stick. A massage therapist can help. So any implement or equipment you could use that's gonna help make the tissues more pliable and more apt to lengthen. So from here, the next phase or the next step is to go into what we call our local mobility. So that's gonna focus specifically on the areas that are kind of gunky or restricted. So we're gonna start at the foot and ankle, and we have to talk about the calf, because the calf we actually have to stretch two different ways. So with gait, or when we walk, ideally when we do it well, one foot is in front of each other. So the forward leg, the knee is actually softening, so your shin is going over a fixed foot. So that's gonna be our first stretch that we're gonna do, and that is gonna focus more on the Achilles and the lower calf. And then we're gonna go through and do a second stretch, which is gonna be more for the back leg, and that's gonna be a little bit more synonymous with that kind of calf stretch that so many have done against the wall. We're just gonna do it with a little different tweak. So that said, I'm just gonna put a dumbbell, maybe about a foot or so away from the wall, and I'm gonna focus on just putting the ball of my foot right on the dumbbell. And from here, I'm just gonna start driving my knee towards the wall and hopefully creating a nice loader stretch on that lower calf or Achilles. And you might not be able to see it from your angle, but my knee is actually tracking over my big toe, so it's actually rolling in slightly, which we do want to see take place. Synonymous with pronation, that forward leg and gait. So everything is absorbing as that foot hits the ground, whether you're walking or running. So we want to be able to promote that within this stretch. So I'm just going to go through, and all these stretches that we're going to do from today and moving forward from a local standpoint, they will be active. So we want to be able to help prepare the tissues and mobilize them to prepare them for the later stages of the workout or the activity. The static we save for later on, more of a cool down. All right, so I could just go through 10 to 15 repetitions, focusing on, like I said, that forward leg and gait. And then I'm going to roll the dumbbell back, and I'm going to change my posture here by having my opposite leg in front, and now my right leg is going to be positioned behind me, more synonymous with propulsion or that push-off. And now from here, I'm going to be driving my left knee towards the wall again, and notice my whole hip is following, and I'm focusing on pushing my heel down into the ground, and that's going to create a great stretch through my back leg calf. It's going to pull a little higher up, a little closer to the knee, a little bit more gastroc. And at the same time, I'm going to get a nice little anterior hip stretch, especially if I get some glute squeeze and get a little bit of a posterior tilt. And that is going to tie it in really nicely. So there you have it. So forward leg gait, back leg gait, two ways to hit your calf. From a calf standpoint, a sequence of events, pre-workout, I'm going to go from calf roll, and let's say I'm going to be rolling some quads that day, and then I'll go into something like this, a local calf stretch, do something on the local quad, and then we're going to keep going through some of the later phases of the movement prep before we get into the workout. So enjoy that one. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.